Hi, I'm Margherita Desy. I'm the historian with the Naval History and Heritage Command Detachment, Boston, and I'm speaking to you today from the Charlestown Navy Yard in Boston, Massachusetts. On March 27, 1794, the act to provide a naval armament was actually signed by President George Washington, and it is that act that actually creates the new United States Navy. Remember, there had been a Navy during the American Revolution, and that's sometimes called the Continental Navy or the American Navy, but that Navy had been completely disbanded by 1785. With the Naval Armament Act of 1794, the establishment of this new Navy, the United States Navy, comes to fruition. President George Washington actually names 5 of the 6 frigates. And the names of the vessels were USS United States, which was a 44-gun frigate, so a kind of a larger vessel, and it was launched on May 10th, 1797. USS Constellation was built in Baltimore and was launched on September 7th, 1797. USS Constitution was built here in Boston at Edmund Hart's shipyard, and their Constitution was launched on October 21st, 1797. USS Congress, which was a slightly smaller frigate of 36 guns, was built in Portsmouth, New Hampshire, and that was launched on August 15th, 1799. The USS President was built in New York. It was one of the larger frigates, 44 guns, launched on April 10th, 1800. And the only one of the 6 frigates that George Washington did not name is the vessel that was built at Gosport, Virginia, and that was USS Chesapeake. She was a 36-gun frigate, and she was launched on December 2nd, 1799. And of those 6 original frigates, which all had very interesting careers, some long and some short, the only one of those 6 that are left today is USS Constitution here in the Charlestown Navy Yard in Massachusetts. Each of the 6 frigates in its own way, especially in their early careers, are successful. Unfortunately, USS Chesapeake and USS President were actually captured by the Royal Navy during the War of 1812 and taken into the Royal Navy afterwards. So they were lost to the United States Navy. But USS Constitution and USS United States went on to have very, very long careers. And of course, Constitution has the longest of all the careers because Constitution is still with us today. In fact, this October 21st, here in 2022, USS Constitution will commemorate its 225th anniversary of its launch. USS Constitution has actually served the United States and the United States Navy across 4 centuries. It was launched in the 18th century, late 18th century, served in the Quasi-War in the Caribbean, and then in the 19th century, of course, fought in the Barbary War off Tripoli, between 1803 and 1805, and then the War of 1812 with its 3 stunning victories against the Royal Navy in the War of 1812. So the legacy of this early Navy continues today. You kind of can't escape it. It's an important legacy. The current commanding officer of USS Constitution is the first female commanding officer of Constitution in the ship's nearly 225-year history. And Commander B.J. Farrell, she talks about that when you stand on the decks of Constitution, you're standing on a somber battlefield. And I think that really can still resonate, not just with our young men and women that are enlisted in the United States Navy and our officers of the United States Navy, but I think our visitors, nearly 600,000 visitors come to the ship every year. I think they can feel that import, that legacy, that spirit in a way of the founding of the Navy, and that they can still encounter the founding of the Navy, the beginning of the Navy, by visiting USS Constitution here in Boston.